What is going on? Welcome back to Financial Journey. So today I want to talk to you on Rivian. I want to go over some of the current data points, talking what's been coming out from the company itself, and go over everything else you need to know. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. And with that said, let's get right to it. So currently it is up 3.86%, a lot of volatility. So 1722 the high, 1657 the low. And for volume, a little bit low today as well. So 33.95 million shares being traded, 47 is the average. And of course, today is getting a nice boost up as a result of good old CPI data. So both on a year-over-year and month-over-month basis, both were better than anticipated and the forecast. So once again, that's definitely a good thing. If you are looking at the actual details of it though, not necessarily the best. So this does show the month-over-month, which came in flat. But if you look at the energy component, it did go down around 2.5%, meaning the other basket items did go up equivalently that. So not necessarily the best information, of course, not to discredit the overall data, because that is still moving in the right direction, and probably enough to keep Powell at bay, at least in the short term. So the market's taken this and running with it. When it comes down to Rivian, there has been some news. So this came out after hours yesterday. So Rivian hires 𝗪𝗪𝗡𝗘𝗖𝗧. I'm completely butchering his name, but he's going to be the new vice president of logistics, which based on what they said during the Q3 earnings, is definitely going to be a key role in the coming years and quarters and so forth. So once again, a fairly good thing, and plus has a lot of good history. So should fit into Rivian fairly nicely. And combined with this as well, so this came out after hours, and as well there was an 8K that talked on around 15 billion essentially in bonds on what they plan on selling, and that is going to be essentially for what they say right here, the construction of the Georgia plant. So once again, not necessarily the best. So I think Rivian kind of fell into luck with CPI coming out today, because I feel like the market would have taken this down pretty significantly. But once again, I'm not a financial advisor. You guys always do your own due diligence. But other than those two things that did come out, there's not really anything new. It's just been piggybacking off of the broader market. No new analyst ratings. So the last one being Barclays, Dan Levy, who did give a $27 price target and a buy rating. So time and time again, I always do say that Rivian is very much undervalued. And even if you look at the latest Morningstar report, which did come out, I believe, the tail end of last week, it does show the fair market value based on all of the assets being $23.17. So once again, I think a lot of analysts are seeing that, and just Rivian at a fairly substantial discount. So let me know your thoughts on that. If you are looking for a lot of good compiled information, such as analyst ratings, forecasts for upcoming earnings, take a look at Interactive Brokers, link in the description below and also the comments. And plus, this is where you do see that analysts are estimating that Rivian will be profitable probably by the second half of 2025. So at least something to potentially look forward to. But going back over to Ortex, I just wanted to give you a quick overview of shorts. As I've said in the past, and I will say time and time again, Rivian is not a squeeze play. I'm just bringing this up merely as a benchmark. So shorts right now are returning 565,000 shares, 15.58% of the free float is being shorted, 104.51 million shares overall are being shorted, and cost to borrow average is very low, so 0.91%. So like I said, doesn't meet the criteria for a squeeze. So based on shorts returning this amount of shares, and with Rivian being green, it does signal that they feel like today is justified and potentially could trend up higher. So I'm going to match all of this with technicals and many other things. Through the Interactive Brokers, short availability does indicate that there's more than 10 million shares available to be shorted as well. So you have to factor that in, that if shorts really felt that Rivian was overvalued, they would be doubling down pretty significantly. Latest round of 13Fs did come down the pipeline for Rivian, so you do see a lot of institutions and what they've been doing, and a lot of the bigger names have been unveiling what they've been doing. So these are some of the latest ones I just wanted to quickly show you. So BlackRock did actually return, or at least reduce their position within Q3 by 17%. So that definitely stood out to me, because I think out of any of the big EV stocks, like BlackRock only reduced their position in Rivian, which wasn't necessarily the most optimistic. But once again, maybe they have their reasons why or whatever else. So again, we just have to sit tight and wait. Vanguard, so another big player in the market, has not disclosed their position yet. They should be oddly later today or after hours, if not tomorrow. So we'll find out fairly soon about that. So I'll go over options activity. So with the green day for Rivian today, a lot of people are very optimistic based on this. So puts, $1.8 million in puts being purchased versus 5.1 million in calls, and that's kind of right here. So definitely a lot of people are anticipating for it to continue to trend up. Looking at the specifics, so this is all the calls, the strike prices, expiry dates. Based on this information right here, it is anticipated to be above around $8 by the tail end of next week. So a lot of people are very, very optimistic, and that's kind of tied in with the technicals I'll touch on in a second. And looking at puts, oddly enough, people are anticipating for it to be sub around $16. So you kind of have both extremes. But when it comes to the technicals, let's talk all about that. So you do see with it at $16.84, it is between this S1 and the pivot. So it's kind of in line with a lot of the other growth stocks and EV stocks. So it's something to kind of keep in mind, but $15.13 is going to be that next strong support. And coincidentally, that is exactly what it did bounce off of the tail end of last week, if I remember correctly. So that definitely is a very positive sign, shows that that's an extreme support level. Vice versa, $18.79 is that next strong resistance. Very wide of a gap, so you do have to anticipate that there's going to be a lot of volatility, at least in the foreseeable future. And today, as I actually do this video, it is attempting to transition into the higher percentile of the Bollinger Band, as you can kind of see right here. It is failing a little bit, but hopefully with PPI coming out tomorrow, there could be some good justification for it to trend up higher and stay in this range. But as it stands, like I said, it's just a lot of kind of moving parts, and I think right now it's just following the technicals, despite a lot of the things that's been coming out, such as that recent 8K about that 15 billion in potential bonds being sold, and the new vice president of logistics. Just quickly going over here, you do see number of retail investors getting in, and that is through the momentum indicator. And stochastic, you do see a nice inversion happening right now, so black line above the red showing a nice bullish sentiment. So in reality, technicals are looking fairly good. Short information is very bullish, as well as options. So in my opinion, I do feel that bigger and better things might be coming, at least in the foreseeable future for Rivian, potentially even touching that 1879. But I don't feel like there's enough right now in the market for it to be above that as it stands, because there are still a lot of things and moving parts until either Powell does actually come out and say, like, you know what, we are not going to be raising the rates as what he kind of signaled, and many things like that. So I feel like a lot of the market and growth stocks such as Rivian are just going to be stuck in limbo until that point. So let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. And one final thing, take advantage of this amazing promo only up until November the 20th. Sign up for an account with Moon, throw $100 at it, and you get 5 free stocks. Each stock is valued up to $2,000. So crazy deal. Plus you also do get 1 free share of SoFi. So for $100, you get 6 free stocks, and plus any cash that you do have in this account, you're going to be earning 5.1% APY. So it's a win-win. Link in the description below and also the comments. With all of that said, I appreciate all of you watching.